Hi, everybody. Welcome into today's show here on JTV. Thank you to the Insurance Circle Agency, 269-200-2905, myinsuranccircle.com. I'm David Rice. That's Adam. We are in a different location today. I mentioned on last week's show we'd be back to football mode this week.
Yeah, finally.
And that's exactly where we're at. Inside the new Al Glick athletic facility here at Jackson High School. This is where we had our football media days last year as well.
Yep.
So really excited to kick off JTV's 26th season of high school football coverage today. So coming up on the show today, it's going to be jam-packed with interviews. Leslie quarterback Joel Cranmore with the head coach Tim McCann. They had a great year last year, so we'll be looking forward to talking to them again today. We'll also be talking with the head coach and quarterback from the Mounties of Northwest and the new head coach Cody Bentley from the Parma Western Panthers. Plus, we'll have more interviews over the next couple days and the next few weeks on the show as well. So, again, as always, thank you to the staff and everybody at JTV behind the scenes for planning and making everything happen, as well as all of our sponsors on JTV who will be with us for sports, and to Jackson High. Great facility as always.
Yeah, big thank you to them because we couldn't do this and have all this whole setup here if it wasn't for them, and being able to let us set up the other day and then get it ready today, and then we'll be back tomorrow. So it's super cool.
That's right. Before we go to break and show you some interviews throughout the day today, Tigers, after being on a really, really bad slump, finally got the win. Big win Tuesday night, 12-2 against the Diamondbacks, Arizona. Casey Mize still... They didn't say if the injury's still with him, if it's still bothering him, still lingering, but he came out after the second inning. Watching that, I forgot he was hurt. We talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait.
You're like, what's going on? Yeah.
It's the second inning.
Right.
But they're already down 2-0. But I know the Diamondbacks, they're okay.
Yeah, they're like 500.
500-ish.
Yeah, something around there.
But it's still good regardless of who they're playing to see the Tigers do well again. Yeah. And you've said it the whole time, and I agree with you. If you're going to have the slump, have it in July. Have it in early August.
Exactly.
Don't have this big slump in September.
And this is not uncommon to have a slump like this after the All-Star break.
A bunch of people are freaking out, and I'm like, I'm not worried.
Right. I was not worried, and I knew A.J. Hinch was going to steer the ship and really get them going. And then look at how the offense has exploded after not being able to do anything. So it was the right move for him, and I'm excited to see what the postseason brings. I'm thinking we got to win at least win the ALDS this year. Obviously, I want to win a World Series, but if we can win an ALDS,
but the realistic expectation, though, because after they lost to Cleveland in the DS last year. Because the Tigers were okay the year before that, but then they didn't expect them to make that big of a leap.
Yeah,
and then they make the ALDS.
Yeah.
So now I feel like, okay, because that was a surprise, they got to do more.
Yeah, it's like progression, right? Progression. You got to, especially with how good we've played this year.
Don't stop in that round again.
Exactly. I just think the way we've played this year, you got to at least hope that we can win an ALDS, and then after that, hey, we'll see what happens. But for right now, I'm rooting for the Tigers.
Absolutely. Also, because high school sports is coming up, more on that at the end of the show with the other sports besides football. Subscribe to JTV Sports, of course, your favorite school. You can subscribe to more than one, and it is free 99.
It is free 99. Yes,
free
sir.
99.
Yes, sir.
So subscribe, and each week you'll get a newsletter sent to your email address with everything that we've covered involving your school. And you can even subscribe to Jackson College and Spring Arbor University as well. So when we come back, Leslie quarterback Joel Cranmore, head coach Tim McCann, and a few other special guests and players and coaches we've featured so far here on JTV Football Media Days. So we'll kick off our 26th season of football coverage after this. We're here at JTV Football Media Days 2025. I'm David Rice. It's Adam Bragginser. Thank you to the Insurance Circle Agency. Happy to welcome now On the show from the Leslie Blackhawks, head coach Tim McCann going into his third year, and junior quarterback Joel Cranmore. Guys, thanks for joining the show. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
So last year, it was only second year in the new conference. Conference champions, first time, first district title since 2008. How'd that feel to put Leslie back on the map and have a really great year?
I think from a coaching standpoint, from someone who went through the program and experienced success in high school and saw the dip in years there where we didn't win a ton of games and weren't competitive every year, it's exciting, and it kind of fills my excitement up and my heart up inside to know that we're changing the culture back to what it used to be, and we've been saying for 2 years we're getting back to our roots, and we're going to start doing the things that Leslie Blackhawk football is known for. So it's exciting to see the success come back and the community come back and the school support and the kids that don't play football supporting us, and it's exciting all around.
How did it feel to, what was the key with you being the quarterback? What was the key to having such a high-powered offense last year? Because 6 of the 12 games you guys played, and you guys scored 40 points. What was the key to having that much success?
It really came from a lot coaching, breaking down defenses, understanding like where we have to attack on the field. And once you find that, like it makes the game a lot easier for you. And we had great athletes all around me to help me out with that.
Was there a certain point in the season or maybe before the season where you guys knew we could have a really great year, we could win the conference, etc.? Was there any moment in time?
I'm going to go back to the last question because Joel's been pretty modest there. The success starts with him on offense. He's a very talented quarterback, very good athlete, and so he was surrounded by a lot of athletes, but those athletes don't get the ball if he's not making the right decision at the right split second. So he deserves some of that credit too. And then going into your next question about when we really thought that we had something special, the winter prior, during the 7-on-7 leagues we were doing, we had a former coach of myself, Coach Farley, and Coach Crow talk to us about the athletes that we had and how we needed to throw the ball 40 times a game. And being an O-line guy, I said, yeah, we will as soon as we run the ball 40 times a game. And then we kind of got into the summer, and we started to see that we had the athletes, to move around and to do the things that, we really wanted to do. So, it kind of started to build that excitement.
How was the summer workouts and the camps and whatnot gone so far for you guys?
How do you feel about that?
I feel like we've had a pretty good summer so far. Like, our Sunday practices have been like our installs, and those have really been efficient. Like, we've got everything done, and then got out. And week by week, it's been great. Workouts, it's hard to have everyone there when it's at night because kids work throughout the day, so then it's just hard to have everyone there. But 7-on-7s went really well, and all that other stuff.
I know you guys have most of your guys returning on both sides of the ball, which has got to feel pretty good for you, Coach, right? Because of the success you had last year. Coming into this year, it gives you guys a lot more confidence having most of those guys back. But still, each year is different. Each team is different. What's it been like getting to know this year's team and working so far with the guys that you have right now?
Yeah, it's every year is different, and I think you have an advantage when you return so many guys because that relationship you have to build with those guys that are coming in to fill those roles or that haven't played is less. So there's less guys that you need to build that relationship with, less guys that you need to understand where their strengths are and where their weaknesses are. But I mean, that's why we do this as coaches, is to be able to take a team every year, mold it into what our vision is, and to put them in position to be successful on and off the field.
You guys made the regional final. I know that game against Monroe St. Mary. Obviously, the result wasn't what you wanted, but from that run last year to get to there, what you guys learn from maybe last season or maybe learn from that game?
That game hurt. I'll be straight up. Like, we came in thinking like we have a really good shot to win this game after our film and a whole week of practice, and it didn't go as how we thought it would at all. But it was just experience. Like, last year our goal was to get to the regional final. But now we want to make it past that, take the next step.
So just a quick question, just kind of wondering with you guys, like, what do you think excites you most about going into this season with the success you guys had last season, what excites you most about heading into this season? This is to either of you.
For me, it's that the kids got to experience success. Up until last year, the success really wasn't there as far as wins and losses. We made a lot of gains as far as learning football and learning the X and O's and getting better in the classroom, but experiencing the success on the football field is huge. And until you do that, there's not very many teams that go from not making the playoffs to making the state championship. That's kind of rare. And the reason is because you don't have that experience playing in November, and that's tough to do. And it's a long season, and we experienced that a little bit when we got into the playoffs. That most of these kids are used to going to basketball and wrestling at this point, so for them to still be playing football is kind of tough. And you got to stack those days on top of each other, and it's a long season. But if you go back to when we lost to Grass Lake last year, I think that really kind of propelled us to be able to get into the win the conference championship game, win the district championship, and make it to the regional championship. In that regional championship game, we started off the first almost 2 full quarters, very competitively, and then we kind of just ran out of gas. But I think that's part of that building process that, they got to experience it. They know where we fell short and where we have to build to get past that.
Awesome. And then, I'm just kind of curious, how would you describe your coaching style?
We built the program on our faith, our family, and then football after that. Faith is a big part of it. Family is a big part of it. My family is around the program a lot. And then, if at any point in time a player or anybody has any issues with family, we're going to do whatever we can to make sure that that's taken care of, help in any way that we can. And I think that kind of opens up to the athletes that, we are real people, and yeah, we are your coach, and we will, push you and make you do things that are going to make you uncomfortable. But at the same time, we're also here to be, your leaning post if you need to talk about something, or if you're having trouble at home or trouble in school. And I think that kind of helps build the relationships with the kids, that it's not all serious. There is some real life to it, and most importantly, that when you're done in 4 years, you're going to be eventually, a husband, probably a father, you're a brother now, stuff like that. So, there's real life experiences that we can tie into it to help build them after football.
Awesome. And then, of course, I have to ask the question. I ask everybody this: favorite football player of all time?
My favorite football of all time would be my cousin Brock Gutierrez.
There you go.
He's from Charlotte. Played in the NFL. Went to Central. Played in the NFL. Ended his career retiring out of Detroit for the Lions. I've always looked up to him, and I remember being a kid going to those games and traveling every Sunday to watch him play. That was awesome, and we still talk quite a bit. So definitely my favorite football player.
That's awesome. Joel, what about you?
I'd have to say Tom Brady. I mean, he's just a winner.
Yep.
Great guy from Michigan, so it's great.
Not a bad choice.
I'm only appreciating the Tom Brady answer that much just because he went to Michigan.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't know what I have to say. You probably could.
This is a Packers fan over here. Wow. This is a Packers fan, so
point that part out. But
I'll point that out to everyone.
Anything fun over the summer? Any highlights?
Go ahead.
I've just been training a lot. I trained a lot this summer, the most I ever have. So that's what I was really looking forward to, getting out there and showing everyone.
Coach, any summer highlights? I know it's probably, if you have any downtime, a little bit of a relaxing period before you get into the summer workouts and whatnot.
Yeah, there wasn't much downtime for me. Our third child was born in March, and so I was busy from March till June probably when school got out, and then we started our summer stuff. We've had a pretty busy schedule. These kids have worked hard for the last month, and there were some stretches in there where we would go 6-7 days in a row doing stuff with 7-on-7s and lifting, and I give them credit because they showed up and they worked hard, and we got a lot of work in, so it's exciting.
Week 1, taking on Stockbridge, 6 in a row for you guys. What's it going to take to win this rivalry again and have the guys ready for Week 1?
What do you think? I have an answer already, but I want to hear what Joel has to say.
Well, I think that, we just got to have a great week of practice. Like I said, get in the film room, break it down, figure out everything from the scrimmage, and then just go out there and do what we do, because I know we're a way better team.
I think the ending there is important about it's a game. I just told Josh that, at the end of the day, it's a football game. It's a rivalry, and that's great, and it gets the kids all hyped up, and, I've been a part of it for a long time, but Playing football is the most important part, and if we do that, we should take care of business.
Leslie Blackhawks hoping to go back-to-back Cascades Conference champions here in 2025. Head coach Tim McCann, quarterback Joel Cranmore here on the David Rice Show. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
David Rice here for JTV Sports. Thank you to the Insurance Circle Agency. We're here at 2025 JTV Football Media Days here with the first-year head coach of the Parma Western Panthers, Cody Bentley. Coach, thanks for joining us, and congrats on taking over as head coach.
Hey, I appreciate it. Being in the Jackson area now for 4 years, I've listened to JT like Saturday morning. We'd rewatch games, and I've, watch your guys' show every week. So excited to be talking to you guys today.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your background and why you wanted to get into coaching, and where you were at and that led you to coming to Parma.
Yeah, so I grew up in Homer, Michigan. I grew up in a background, my family struggled there for a while growing up, and one of the bright spots in my life was football. Coach Hickey was my football coach at Homer, great guy, and I owe him a ton. And, I didn't really know what I was going to do in life, but I had great teachers, great coaches, and I decided that I wanted to go down that route. I was really like reading books, so I thought I'd be an English teacher, and kind of pushed me into college. And football never left my heart. When I got a coaching job, people always ask when a young male teacher gets hired, can you coach football? Because a football coach is bad.
Right.
So when I got to Homer, Joe Bry was the head coach. He asked me if I'd ever coached before. I said no. He said, "Do you want to be our JV head coach?" I was like, "Holy crap, I guess."
Going right into the JV coach.
Figure it out. So I became the JV head coach with zero coaching experience. And we had 14 kids on our JV team that year. And it was rough. But, I kind of knew right away is what I wanted to do. So that's kind of how it started, and I just kind of went up the ranks at Homer. Joe Bry left. Brett Vernon became the football coach. Hired me as his defensive coordinator. Once again, didn't know what the heck I was doing. But, I kind of learned trial by fire, and, kind of worked through there. And then when Coach Rulowitz got hired here, him and I had a relationship. I student taught at Columbia Central. So he was there when I was there, and he knew that, him and I had talked over the years, and he knew defensively at Homer we'd done some good things. So he asked me if I wanted to come coach some bigger football in a bigger, kind of area. I was like, heck yeah, let's go. So that's how I ended up here.
There you go.
Real quick, I was just going to say, what does it mean to join this program specifically and take over as head coach? Because there's, this program has been successful, very recently. So what does it mean to you to take over that program?
Yeah, and, I was always honest with Coach Rulowitz that my goal was to become a head football coach. And in our time together, I, interviewed at a few places and went through the process. But ultimately, this job was always the one that I just didn't know Coach Rulowitz was going to go to South Carolina on me. So that was unexpected. Right. So when that opened up, this became my sole focus because this place, someone told me when you become a head coach, pick a place that represents who you are. I think this place represents who I am. And when, I had some people know I had a cancer diagnosis a few years ago and coached through cancer. The community took care of me. And, what a great blessing to be able to give back to the community. And so just everything kind of fell into place. A little bit of feels a little bit of fate. And I just jumped at it because this is the place I want to be. I want my girls to grow up here. And I want to give back to a place that gave me so much at a time that really was really rough.
And I know, people usually talk about it's for the smaller schools, small school or tight community. I know Western's a lot bigger of a school. How much has the Western community and the school meant to you, especially as what you've been through the last couple of years? How much has that community meant to you?
Yeah, Western's a weird place to where it's a big school. We're D4, D3 football, but it has a community feel to it. Sometimes some bigger schools don't feel like this. But I know that our school is making a huge push to unify everybody. We're building that new elementary. And even our saying this year in football is, we are Western. And it all comes from my inspiration of what this community did for me. They, local t-shirt company, they basically they did shirts that said "Wreaking Havoc on Cancer," and all the benefits. I got a check that all went to me and my family to help with cancer treatments, because that ain't cheap.
No.
And I'm still paying that off.
Yeah.
And so you just look around, and the people that came up to me, and people at the school, teachers. I mean, I'm not kidding you. People probably gave me well over $10,000 of gifts and money just towards like stuff we really needed. Like. And how do you not just love a place like that? How do you not stay at a place like that,
Yeah.
And I just feel so privileged that it opened up the way it did, because this is a place I always wanted to be. Like I said, just didn't know Coach Rulowitz he was going to leave. He just one day texted me and said, hey, you're up. And so, yeah, I think to answer your question, how could I not stay here and give back, This community means a lot to me and my family.
Right. 6-3 for you guys last year. Lost in the first round to Hazlitt, but 8-1 the year before that, and they only lost by 1 point. But he had to play a really good Hazlitt team 2 of the last 3 weeks of the year last year.
Yeah.
Just overall, quick thoughts on last year, and I gotta imagine it's a little bit easier for you and for the guys not having somebody that hasn't been in the program before. I gotta imagine that makes it a little bit easier with the transition.
Yeah, last year Hazlitt had a heck of a program. They have a really talented player who got hurt against us, unfortunately. Yeah. But before he got hurt against us, he made us pay. And and even without him, they were very talented. They're gonna be very talented this year. To play them that close, first game we played them, I thought we had opportunities to probably win that one. We left some points on the board, 3 or 4 times. Second time we played them, it got away from us a little bit. They were in the fourth quarter. I think we gave up like 21 points in the fourth quarter, which we only gave up 21 the whole game the first time we played them. So I look back on last season, and it's just missed opportunities, and that kind of leads into this season. We're big on opportunities, and there's a lot of opportunity for people in our program, and that's what's great. Coming in as a head coach, the kids know me. They know what they're getting from me. I haven't changed a ton. But the one thing I think it's helped me is I know them as well. And I know who I can trust, who's building trust, who's next up, I guess. And so this summer has been interesting from that standpoint. I didn't have to learn the kids. I know them. I already, before Coach Rulowitz left, I already had my preview for this year. I already started doing my breakdowns for defensively, what we need to do to get better. So I feel my feet are underneath me. The ground's changing a little bit as the head coach, but it's at least not on familiar ground. For sure.
Yeah. How have the numbers been, and how have the summer workouts and whatnot gone so far?
So far, so good. I unexpectedly had to take over our strength program this summer. Different opportunities for our strength guy. So he is going to look at that, and left me kind of in charge of strength program. So it was interesting from that standpoint, trying to walk the line of being the new head coach, but also not drown the kids out with my voice, because when I do anything, I do it at one level. And so weight training is, I don't want them to get drowned out by my voice, but our numbers have been solid, about what they usually are. And our numbers program-wide, we're going to have 88, 9 through 12, pretty solid. We only have 10 seniors on our team, too, so I was a little worried that the low senior class numbers would affect our overall program, but our program's healthy. And I think that, a lot of the kids that expect to want to earn a spot have been working their butts off this summer.
Yeah, and, you talked about, like, trying to take advantage, not have these missed opportunities. Do you think that's the biggest area for improvement going into next season? Is that kind of what you're focusing on?
Yeah, I think when you have the turnover we're having, and there's been coaching turnover too. I mean, losing Coach Rulowitz, he's been a foundation here for 4 years. My whole defensive staff I worked with for much of my time here. All those guys are, they're enjoying life after football now. Their kids are going to college and stuff, so they're going to go do that. So all that turnover, you can view it one of two ways. You can be doomsday about it. And kind of panic, or you can view it as opportunities everywhere, and that's how we're choosing it. One of our sayings this year is opportunity is now here, and it is. And however the season ends up this year, my biggest challenge to the coaches and the kids is that we walk away knowing that we took advantage of the opportunity, because just with everything that happened to me health-wise, you don't know when opportunities aren't going to be there. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to take this I'm going to take the positive side. That's the saying is, either it's opportunity is nowhere or opportunity is now here. Yeah. And we're going to go with opportunity is now here.
And I got to ask, I've been asking everybody this question. So who's your favorite NFL player of all time? I was going to say, I know it's might be a tough question, but...
So I bought 2 jerseys my entire life.
Okay.
And the first one's a little bit of a throwback and a little odd.
All right.
Priest Holmes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I have a Priest Holmes jersey. It still sits in my back of my closet. My wife's like, why is that there? I'm like, hey, don't worry about it. All right?
Yeah.
It's so Priest Holmes, oddly enough, and when he got hurt, I remember I think it was Larry Johnson, or I think that's running back's name. It was something Johnson. He took over. He had like 2,000 yards in 15 games or something crazy. And but I'm still Priest. That was my guy. And
he was a beast.
Yeah,
he was a beast.
And now I'm all in on Aiden Hutchinson. He's a dude.
He's a monster.
He meets my criteria for Havoc football for sure.
When we were able to pick him second overall, when they fell to us, how I looked at it when he fell to us, I was just like, they don't know what they just did.
Yeah, let's go.
We got him. Yep.
You guys are going to be taking on Jackson High week 1. We'll have that game live on JTV to kick off the season. Really looking forward to that. A rematch from playoffs 2022. We know how the ending of that game went.
Yep.
What's it going to take to get your guys ready and the beat Jackson, start 1-0 at your guys' place?
The fortunate part is that my current group of leaders and players, they don't share the same PTSD I do from that game because they were all freshmen. So really with them, I've approached it as, once again, opportunity. We have an opportunity to play in our community. Last time when we played them in the playoffs, I mean, you guys were here for that, I'm sure. It was awesome. Just right out there in that field, it was popping. I mean, it was one of the coolest atmospheres. Hate the way it ended. But all that considered, it was a great high school football game, and it was good for our community. So as soon as we worked this out with Jackson, I told my AD, he's like, hey, we need a week 1. And without even skipping a beat, I was like, reach out to Jackson.
Yeah.
Because to me, our community, if it wasn't for playoff points and all that stuff, I think being able to play Lumen would be cool. I think, being able to have that kind of like cycle of Jackson, I think that builds a community. High school football, one reason I got into it is I think it's the greatest community builder of anything, So yeah, we're excited. Yeah. I told the kids it's opportunities now here, and it's not a grudge match for us. Okay, not a grudge match. It's just an opportunity to get off to a good start. We got to win it.
Yeah,
we have a tough schedule. You can't start dropping games if we want to continue to accomplish the things we believe we find important. You don't want to lose that one. So we got to start the season. I know they're thinking the same thing. So we both play in tough conferences. We both have tough schedules. Yeah. So that's a big game. That can, look at your season in different ways.
I'm excited to see it. I'm very excited.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely as well. Looking forward to week 1. Have it live on JTV at your place against Jackson High Vikings. Coach Cody Bentley, appreciate the time today and good luck this season.
Yeah, anytime, guys. Like I said, keep doing good work. I think pushing out high school sports, seeing the good side of high school sports for our communities are always a good thing.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
2025 JTV Football Media Days. I'm David Rice. Thank you to the Insurance Circle Agency for helping us bring you today's show. Here with us now from the Northwest Mounties quarterback Gabe Christner and the head coach Stafford Newsome. Guys, thanks for doing this. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
3-6 last year, 5-4 the 2 years before. Just first from you, Coach, quick thoughts on last year. I know, and one thing I really like when Josh asked it earlier, you said it didn't really feel like a rebuild or a step back. You guys have been building, and you're just gonna continue to build, right? So just quick thoughts on last year and what you learned from last season.
I think as a team, as a program, our guys have just learned what leadership is and how it pays to be tight. When they were younger, they saw those 2 5-4 teams. They were super tight. Some of those guys actually just got together this past weekend from that team. So these relationships they're making right now are really lifelong relationships. And, I'll tell you, I played right guard in high school. My best buddy played right tackle. We haven't seen each other in a decade, and our kids ended up on the same baseball team this year. It's like we never miss a beat. And I want that for these guys, too. So 100% believe it's not a rebuild year. We have been building a program from day one. And like I said earlier, we've never had a season where we met goals as a program, even well before us. We have goals that we want to reach, whether we share those out loud or not. I don't really care about that part, but the guys in the program know what we want to do, and we can't rebuild because we've never done it. So we're building and laying it brick by brick.
How have the numbers been so far, and how's the summer workouts and camps going?
Really well. I'll let Gabe talk about the workouts here in a minute. The numbers part, we're somewhere between 70 to 80. Some days we're 75 to 80, and to us, that's a huge plus, obviously. The biggest plus for us is that we, as a coaching staff, I'll say it, we kind of stalk kids in the hall to make them play or get them to play or encourage them to play. But the biggest part is now our players are doing that for us, and they are the biggest selling point for our program. So it's no longer we have to track this kid down 24/7. We have players that will go out and have that conversation and talk to him. And I think those other guys see what we're about as a program, what we're trying to do, and how they're treated as young men. And that's why they want to be a part of it. So when we first took over, 53, 54 guys in the program. Now we're talking about 75 to 80. Next year our expectation is to be 80 to 85.
And how, question for you, Gabe, how important is the team bonding and being together? Because you guys have put a few guys back from last year, but each team is different. It's a new team each year. How important is that bonding been and being together?
Oh, it's very important, because you could have 11 great football players out there, but if they all hate each other, that team's not going to do anything. But our team this year, we're all good friends, we're all close. We don't really hang out a lot, but we all respect each other as football players, as humans, and we're all pretty good friends. And that's going to carry us pretty far, I feel like. Just maybe in life, because that's kind of about it.
So any summer highlights? Anything exciting from before getting ready for summer workouts?
What do you mean by that? What's your...
Anything fun over the summer, or
personally?
Yeah.
Yeah. I played a few baseball tournaments. That was fun.
Oh, nice.
But it was just a lot of football, a lot of workouts, a lot of hanging out with my friends, stuff like that.
Yep. You guys are going to play Kalamazoo Lloyd Norrix in week 1. They were 5-4 last year. They had quite a few high-scoring games as well. What's going to be the key to getting you guys ready to go and start 1-0?
We can't really worry about Lloyd Norrix, man. We have to do what we do. And the last 2 days of camp, we've done what we do really, really well, and we want to continue that. If we can, control the ball, help our defense out, defense gets some takeaways, obviously, that helps a ton. But Lloyd Norrix is a big school, but at the end of the night, you put 11 guys out there against 11 guys from another school. So I don't care if a school has 1,300 kids or 13 kids. If you got 11 enough for a team that's 11 on 11 at any given play, unless a kid forgets to go out there and you got 10 on a snap. That happens every now and then. So at the end of the night, 11 on 11, who wants it more and who's more prepared for week 1?
And what do you think? Where do you think your guys, and this to either of you, what area do you think you're improved mostly from last season for this year?
I would say, I'll speak first if you don't mind, unless you want to go, Gabe.
Go ahead.
My biggest thing is the camaraderie with the guys. It is not a me first thing. It is, we have those goals as a team. I think all the guys are on the same goal. I have not heard one guy say, hey, I want to be all conference, I want to be dream team, I want to be all state, which that's great. That really is, because if we have 11 guys that are all state, we probably won some games and we've met those other goals. But I think everyone is putting the team before themselves, and that's what we preach all the time to our guys. Our coaching staff, most of us are dads, and we all do what we can for our family before ourselves. So we practice what we preach to our guys, and we want to see that same approach from them.
Awesome. And then I asked this to everybody. Favorite NFL player of all time for each of you?
I like Jared Goff, just the way he plays.
Yeah.
And he's on the Lions. So.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Can I give you 3?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course.
First one is Barry Sanders for obvious reasons. My first broken heart in my life is when he retired out of the blue.
Yep.
I remember taking his posters and his banners down off my wall, and about 4 days later, I put them right back up.
Yep.
My second is Sewell. This is a guy that he does everything you ask of him. And if you're not a Lions fan, I know he gets a lot of publicity for a tackle, but if you're not a Lions fan, he's just another guy on the line. But it's like, oh my gosh, you watch him play, and he can do everything you ask of him. Oh, yeah. And he's so humble and so good. I mean, he's got a nasty streak to him, too, and I love that. And then my third player would be Pat Tillman. I don't know if you guys remember Pat Tillman, but works his way up into starting position in the NFL and then gives that up to defend our country. So something bigger than himself, you know, he could have gone any other sport, been individualized, but he's part of a team and then gives up millions of dollars to defend our country. He's sadly killed in friendly fire while in combat. So
that was a great answer. Great answer there.
Yeah, those first 2 answers, what I said in the last interview too, being a fan of a different NFL team.
Yeah, this is I mentioned this to everybody. This is a Packers fan over here.
If I had known that, we wouldn't have sat down at this table.
There you go.
Get it a lot. It's okay. You guys are gonna have Loy Norix and then Adrian first 2 weeks. Appreciate you guys coming on the show, and looking forward to watching the Mounties this season. So thank you guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Welcome back here on JTV. Thank you to everybody who's joined the show so far today for JTV Football Media Days. Again, thank you to Jackson High School as well, their athletic director and their team. Great facility. Always great to be here. So you can check out more coverage from Football Media Days as we progress closer to the kickoff of the season, preseason team previews, coach interviews with our own Josh Brigette, who will be on the show soon as well. That might have been him that just threw a football.
Yeah,
almost killed us.
We got our guys over here.
We're rolling.
Yeah, we got our guys over here messing around with us because we don't have a team here right now, so there's a little downtime. So they're having fun messing around.
At least he didn't kill you behind there.
Hey, I just saw something go past me, so I didn't know what it was. But yeah, and I want to make sure everybody knows too that like all the interviews today, these aren't it. We got a bunch more coming, and we're going to kind of send them out kind of as the weeks go by. So stay tuned for more of those.
Plus, of course, throughout the rest of the summer and early fall, still talking Tigers. We'll have Michigan football, NFL preseason coming up. So it'll be a lot of football coming up, so you don't want to miss more interviews in the next couple weeks. Real quick, before we go, Jackson Junior Golf Tour. Latest stop happened earlier this week on Monday. It was the City Junior Championship at LSR Park Golf Course. The next stop on the tour next Monday, August 4th at Pine Hollow. And the first day of high school sports for all the other fall sports begin August 18th. I can't believe already a couple weeks away.
It's crazy.
I was talking with our sports writing intern earlier, Trey, and I said, I feel like me and him just went to the softball state championship.
Yeah.
We just had the coach on.
Right.
And now we're already at Media Day.
It's so nuts. And then it's going to be winter before we know it. And
don't say that.
I know,
but
like
it is.
Cold. It is. I know.
Well, a lot of people already are saying, "Oh, I can't wait for fall." I can't wait either because it's football.
Yeah,
Besides football, no, I'm not ready for the colder temperatures.
And I'm ready for football. I'm ready for postseason baseball. You know, September for me for sports. September and October. It's pretty awesome. And then, of course, April and the D, the other best time for sports.
That's right. Also, MLB trade deadline coming up right around now as well.
We'll see if the Tigers go and get anybody.
They've gotten a couple people so far.
Yeah, Paddock is pitching today. So
not the bigger-ish names that fans are hoping for. But
who knows? Yeah, I trust them. So the way I look at 100%. It, I trust them.
Also, NBA free agency, NBA free agent signings still happening as well. And then tomorrow, the 31st, is the Hall of Fame game. The NFL will officially be back. Chargers-Lions at the Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio.
Yep. And you said who was starting?
Trey Lance.
That's so
or
crazy.
As Noah called him, Trey Young.
Yeah, I was confused when he said Trey Young was
confused
playing
at
for
first.
them. Yeah.
But Trey Lance is going to be starting. No surprise, it's preseason. We knew Herbert and Harbaugh wasn't going to play those guys anyway.
Right.
And then as far as we know, they haven't said who's going to start for the Lions. We're doing this Wednesday, so it hasn't been announced yet. But could be Goff for a quarter.
I doubt Goff will even start.
Probably Hendon Hooker.
Yeah, that's what I would assume.
Because they got rid of Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
By the way, real quick before we go.
I know what you're gonna say. Yeah, go ahead.
We did not talk about this on the show. The thing, Teddy Bridgewater got in trouble. Is he probably not supposed to spend money on the program with his own money? No, but he's not. He didn't do it intentionally for a wrong, in a bad way. It's a school that was underfunding its football program. Yeah. He's Teddy Bridgewater. He's got NFL player money. He's helping out his program. He's doing it for the kids. Yeah. He wants to go out there. He knows what it's like to play as a high school kid, and he wants to do the same thing.
Yeah, of course.
And I get why all these people are upset why he got in trouble. I agree with them.
Yeah.
I think it was terrible.
Yeah.
So
no, you hit the nail right on the head. I mean, I'm the same way.
You didn't know where I was going.
Well, because I got that text from you, so I knew you had a staunch opinion on this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I think it's, you have to have rules, and I understand that. But at times when it's stuff like this, and we've seen it in the college football world too, where it's like a coach buys dinner for a player, and they count
like when
that
Jim
as against
Harbaugh got in trouble for
the burger, right? Wasn't
buying
he
a kid a
burger?
cheeseburger.
Yeah.
It's like
ridiculous.
$1.20 at McDonald's.
But I will
Give me
say
a
this:
break.
when it comes to college football, now it's different with NIL. You're not really going to run into that as much.
Which also is another thing. The president just signed an executive order to cap how much you can make on. He just made a cap on limits how much athletes can make from NIL,
which is a good
deals.
idea because it's getting a little out of control. How I see it, so
100%.
I think it's a good idea.
Agree. So again.
I was going to say, I do have a quick little game. I did forget about that. I'm the one that brings the games, so I just want,
He didn't tell me we were doing this game until, during the commercial break.
Here we go. So, since 2020, since we're in football mood, since 2020, the top 5 leaders in rushing yards. If you don't get number 1 immediately, I will go nuts.
Saquon Barkley?
No, he's not number 1.
Derrick Henry.
But he's 4. But Derrick Henry is number 1. So Derrick Henry's number 1. Saquon is 4. I can tell you, you're a current fan of one of these and probably an ex-fan of another one.
Josh Jacobs?
He is number 3, so you're just missing 2 and 5.
Is it a former Packer?
It is.
Aaron Jones.
Yes. He is number 5. So you're just missing number 2. And
it's so I've got Saquon, Henry, Jacobs.
Yep, you got Henry at 1.
Aaron Jones.
Blank at 2. Jacobs at 3, which surprised me. Barkley at 4, and then Aaron Jones at 5.
Is it all running backs or is it like a quarterback?
No, it's running back.
Okay.
It's
just making sure.
Yep.
Running back.
Lamar's 12th on this list. So it does include quarterbacks, but Lamar's 12th.
Okay.
But that's crazy. Think about that, dude.
Still.
He's 12th in rushing yards as a quarterback.
32 starting running backs, and a quarterback is 12th.
That's so nuts.
This last quiz I did okay.
Rookie quarterback last year for this team.
Rookie quarterback.
You can argue this guy has had some injuries throughout his career, at least recently.
Christian McCaffrey?
It's not McCaffrey, and I had a feeling you might go there when I said that, but this guy, I've had this guy in fantasy, and he's given me some problems with some health things and maybe some contract stuff, but he plays in the AFC, I'll tell you that.
Okay. AFC, Joe Mixon?
Not Joe Mixon. Think like top tier. Joe Mixon is 7th, so you were close.
Okay, I'm just going by division here. So Henry, we already got. It's not Joe Mixon. Definitely not the Browns.
Mm-hmm. I will say Chubb is 10th, but injuries and stuff, he'd
not
be
the
way
Steelers.
more. Not the Steelers.
Right.
Get out of that
Steelers.
division.
Okay.
Get out of that division.
AFC South, it's not Mixon because he plays for the Texans, not Jacksonville. Jonathan Taylor? Colts?
Yes.
Hey,
Jonathan
there we
Taylor,
go.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas,
Wow.
number 2.
I just was going through the list. I'm like, maybe it was him,
Yep.
maybe it wasn't. I don't know.
Yep. Nope. So that's the list. It's
All right.
Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, and Aaron Jones. And then I'll just say David Montgomery is 6th in that list.
Well, you know what? I
Just
did a
saying,
hell of a
you
lot
know.
better than the last quiz.
You did,
So
you did.
You gave
I
me
thought-
something easier to figure out.
Hey,
Thank
I
you.
wanted to make it easy for you.
All right. High school sports begin August 18th, August 28th, week 1 of high school football live on JTV. We've got plenty more interviews,
Yep.
and we'll have Josh Burgett on the show next week. All sorts of Dan Gallagher.
Yeah,
it's going to
that's
be
right.
really good coming up leading into football season. So subscribe to JTV Sports. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thank you to the Insurance Circle for their support as well. Thank you to Jackson High School, and we'll talk to you next week.